Sagittarius. Welcome to your June reading. I really wanted to do your reading today because today is the day of the Mars-Jupiter conjunction in Aries, and it's at the degree. It's trine my Sagittarius moon. And Jupiter is your ruler. So, I really wanted to do this reading today. So I'm glad that everything worked out so that we could get to your reading today. I'm forgetting something. Hold on 1 second for me. I had your cards charging in the sun. So like cleansing themselves. So they're all nice and warm now. Okay, so June. There's not as much happening in June as there was in May. But there will be some times that you really want to pay attention to the energy that you're giving back to yourself versus the energy that you're giving to other people. Gemini season is the time where the sun will be in your 7th house. And so relationships are very important. And even when we get to Cancer season, when the sun is in your 8th house, relationships are still going to be very important, but it will be even more like, how are relationships giving back to you? You know, how are you building deeper relationships? How are you opening yourself up to deepening the relationship with yourself so that you can have relationships with other people? So Mercury goes direct on the 3rd in your 6th house and will be in your 6th house until the 13th of June when Mercury goes into your 7th house. They were upside down. And with Mercury in your 6th house, you've probably had to look a lot at your schedule. You may have found that your schedule, like if you had things planned, things didn't really work out very much. With Mercury in his post-shadow period, until the 18th, through that post-shadow period, there's a lot that you'll be able to reconcile. Like if, there were arguments that had happened and stuff like that. If you maybe fell back into bad habits, like Mercury's going to help you kind of get back on track. And you may even recognize that your schedule has to change to help your health, right? You may have noticed that during Mercury retrograde, or that you have more time than you thought you did. But there's a lot coming into this month for you guys. It's very interesting. Let me get 2 more cards and then I will start talking. Woo. All right. Okay, interesting. All right. So the first card that we have is the 5 of Wands. So coming into June, and it's funny because the 5 of Wands can represent like petty arguments with other people. Maybe that's happening. Or that like people are just agitating you. But a lot of times I feel like this 5 of Wands is just restrictive energy. It feels like you're fighting something, but it may just be that you're fighting yourself. The next card is the Magician and the 9 of Pentacles. Things are changing for you in a really big way. The Magician is your energy. It's very Jupiterian. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune down here, which is also Jupiter's energy. And then we also have the Hanged Man and the High Priestess. The Hanged Man and the High Priestess are both Pisces energies and therefore are also Jupiterian, just in different ways. I think that the Hanged Man is more Neptunian than Jupiterian, but it helps us to expand. It enlightens us, right? So it can also be Jupiter because Jupiter is about enlightenment, whether you let it be or not. It's the expansion, right? And it's not just about the expansion. It's about showing you where you've been holding yourself hostage, where you've been holding yourself back all this time. You're in the process of manifesting things in a pretty big way. You could be dealing with a Virgo, Gemini, or even a Pisces energy, but I feel like all of this is about you because of the Nine of Pentacles. Because I think that your focus right now is about, the Nine of Pentacles is very Venus and Virgo energy. It's very much being independent and abundant all on your own. But at the same, and really enjoying yourself, and that's great. Like, I feel like you are feeling yourself in June. And here's the thing though. And we're going to clarify this in the extended. We're going to clarify that Five of Swords. Are you fighting with other people? Are you fighting with yourself? Why are you fighting anyways? Like, the struggle is when you fight with yourself. We place ourselves in suffering. We allow ourselves to suffer more when we allow the struggle. When we're competing with our own energy, when we're competing with other people's energies, there's no such thing as competition. I don't even compete with myself anymore. Like, I'm always going to strive to be the best version of who I am every day. That doesn't mean that I'm in a competition with the old version of me. The old version of me could never keep up with who I am today. So I am not even in competition with myself. And then we recognize that the more we allow ourselves, this Magician does not want to stay still. It's like flipping itself around the table. It's very restless. And that's why I sort of feel like this Five of Wands is more restless than anything. It's like, could Mercury just go direct already? I'm so tired of this. That's what that feels like. Just a few days left. But the Nine of Pentacles is a feeling of like, I've arrived. Like, finally I've arrived. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, the Hanged Man, and the High Priestess. What's interesting here is oftentimes these two energies go hand in hand with each other, the Wheel of Fortune and the Hanged Man. Because the Wheel of Fortune is about divine timing, because the Wheel of Fortune represents the cycles that we have to go through life in order to reach the destination. It's all about the journey. When we're sitting there constantly trying to get to the next point and constantly trying to climb that ladder and constantly trying to, like, what is success and gaining success and whatever. We're not giving ourselves the time and opportunity to bask in what we've already accomplished, what we've already grown, where we've already come from, right? So the Wheel of Fortune, it looks like to me you're getting this paused momentum in June. And it's probably, I don't know, I'd say probably like middle of June-ish. There will be a time where oftentimes with the Hanged Man, I call it a forced pause. Whatever that's going to look like. Sometimes it means that we just get really, really tired and our body needs to rest. Sometimes it looks like getting sick. I hope nobody does. Sometimes it looks like, that forced pause is, just not really having a lot to do in the moment, and sometimes when we don't have a lot to do in the moment because we get bored easily these days, we find distractions. And even if you're like, if you're finding yourself, I couldn't even imagine that Sagittarius would have nothing to do. So scratch that. You guys can always find something to do. But I feel like if you're constantly going and going and going and going and going, then the universe is going to force you to stop eventually. And it's all in an effort so that you could hear yourself. Because this shift depends on what's coming from the inside, your own intuition. And a lot of this, because Pisces energy is in your 10th house, a lot of it has to do with your mission. And this Wheel of Fortune is often here to get you back on track, or to help you to see the shifts that are coming that are going to really help you positively push forward in the beginning. But there's this moment of needing to see things in a different perspective, or needing to see things in a bigger perspective, if we're talking Jupiter, right? And Jupiter being in your 5th house really makes you want to create. It really makes you want to, you know, especially with this Mars energy, it makes you want to put yourself out there. It makes you want to, you know, be seen and have your self-expression be seen, you know? So, I just did the wheel again, and it's, hold on a second, I gotta think. Yeah, in really big ways. So, we are going to clarify the rest of these. I'm just like, I'm already getting messages for the extended, like a whole bunch of them. So that's kind of where that pause came from. In the extended, we are going to look more into the astrology. We have your full moon coming on the 13th, 14th, actually. And that is really like whatever it is that's restricting you, whatever it is that's making you feel like you're not able to like breathe, you know? Excuse me. So allowing yourself to open up to not being restricted in that way is going to help in huge ways. And that full moon is putting a lot of pressure on you to take care of yourself. And the more you take care of yourself, the more you're going to see other people who are either for you taking care of yourself or not. So, and then we're going to have the sun moving into Cancer and a new moon on the 28th. So we're going to talk more about that in the extended. You can get the extended by becoming a member of the channel or getting the video on Vimeo, the extended on Vimeo. And both of those ways support my health and all of the treatments that I'm doing that are going to be here for a very long time. So we appreciate all the support, and that's like the easiest way that you can support the channel and myself and all of the health stuff that I'm doing is by becoming a member or grabbing the extended. I also have openings in June for readings, and I have a new astrology course. It's an introductory course to reading your natal chart, getting your soul's blueprint. Already doing it with the members of the channel and some of the members of the channel, and it's really been fun. So I'm excited to offer it to the public. Go check that out on the website. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the extended. Bye.